The Sunday dinner was supposed to be casual, just family, Mom had said. But when I walked into my parents' dining room and saw Uncle Frank, Aunt Diane, my brother Kevin with his wife Melissa, and my cousin Brandon all seated around the table, I knew something was wrong. There she is. Kevin stood up, glass of wine already in hand. The guest of honor. I didn't know this was a full family gathering, I said, setting down my purse. Sit. Mom gestured to the empty chair. We need to talk about something important. I sat down slowly, looking around the table. Everyone was watching me with the same expression, expectant, almost hungry. Emma, Dad began, clearing his throat, it's been 6 months since your grandmother passed. I know. And we've all been very patient about the estate settlement, Uncle Frank added. But it's time to discuss distribution. My stomach dropped. The estate was settled. Grandma's will was very clear. That's what we need to talk about, Kevin said, leaning forward. The will left everything to you. The house, the investments, the life insurance. Everything. She was very specific about her wishes. She was 92 and confused, Aunt Diane interrupted. She didn't understand what she was doing. She had full mental capacity. Her lawyer confirmed it. So did her doctor. Emma, be reasonable. Mom's voice had that pleading tone she used when she wanted something. Your grandmother left you $2.3 million. That's an enormous amount for one person. It's what she wanted. But it's not fair to the rest of the family, Melissa chimed in. Kevin and I have 3 kids. Brandon is trying to buy his first house. Your parents are facing retirement with barely any savings. And I nursed Mom through her final years, Aunt Diane said, her voice rising. I was there every day. You visited maybe once a month. I live 4 hours away. I came every weekend I could. The point is, Uncle Frank said loudly, that inheritance should be shared. It's family money. I looked at my parents. Did you know about this ambush? Mom looked away. Dad studied his plate. We think Uncle Frank is right, Dad said finally. Your grandmother would have wanted the money to help the whole family. Then she would have written her will differently. Kevin slammed his hand on the table. Stop being selfish. You're sitting on $2.3 million while the rest of us struggle. That's not what family does. What do you want from me? We've worked it out, Uncle Frank said, pulling out a piece of paper. A fair division. 6 family units. Your parents, me and Diane, Kevin and Melissa, Brandon, you, and a portion for your grandmother's church. Everyone gets $350,000. Clean and simple. You want me to give away $2 million? We want you to do the right thing, Aunt Diane said. To honor your grandmother's real wishes, not the confused scribblings of an old woman. My hands were shaking. Grandma wasn't confused. She knew exactly what she was doing. Then why did she cut out her own son? Uncle Frank's voice was bitter. I'm her child. Kevin and Brandon are her grandchildren. Your parents took care of her for years. But you get everything? That makes no sense. Maybe you should ask yourselves why she made that choice. What's that supposed to mean? Kevin demanded. I pulled out my phone and checked my messages. Nothing yet. But it was only Sunday. Monday morning would bring answers. Emma, we're trying to be civilized about this, Mom said. But if you refuse to share voluntarily, we'll have to take legal action. Legal action? We're contesting the will, Uncle Frank said. On grounds of diminished capacity and undue influence. Undue influence? I barely saw her the last 2 years because of work. Exactly, Melissa said. But whenever you did visit, you were alone with her. Who knows what you said to manipulate her? I didn't manipulate anyone. Then prove it, Kevin said. Share the money. If you have nothing to hide, if you really believe Grandma wanted this, then be generous. Show us you're not the greedy person this makes you look like. I stood up. I need some air. Sit down, Dad said firmly. We're not done. I need to make a call. Emma Marie Thompson, sit down this instant. I walked out to the backyard and dialed with shaking fingers. Miss Thompson. The voice was crisp, professional. This is unexpected on a Sunday evening. Patricia, I'm at my parents' house. The whole family is here. They're demanding I split my grandmother's inheritance 6 ways. Patricia Chambers, the estate attorney who'd handled Grandma's will, was silent for a moment. Are they threatening legal action? They're planning to contest the will. Diminished capacity and undue influence. I see. Do you want me to come? Can you? I'm 30 minutes away. Don't sign anything. Don't agree to anything. I'll be there soon. I hung up and returned to the dining room. They were all talking in hushed voices that stopped when I entered. Well? Uncle Frank asked. I've called my lawyer. She's on her way. Your lawyer? Mom's face paled. Emma, that's not necessary. You're threatening to contest Grandma's will. It's absolutely necessary. We're family. Aunt Diane said. We don't need lawyers between us. You made it a legal matter when you decided to contest the will. Kevin stood up. This is ridiculous. Just agree to split the money and we can all go home. I'm not agreeing to anything until my attorney arrives. For 25 minutes we sat in tense silence. Mom kept trying to make small talk. Dad kept refilling his wine glass. Kevin and Melissa whispered to each other, shooting me angry looks. The doorbell rang at 7:47 p.m. Patricia Chambers walked in carrying a briefcase, looking like she'd stepped out of a courtroom. Navy suit, pearls, steel gray hair pulled back in a perfect bun. Good evening. I'm Patricia Chambers, representing Emma Thompson's interests in the estate of Dorothy Mae Henderson. She set her briefcase on the dining room table. I understand there are concerns about the will? We believe Emma manipulated our mother into leaving her everything, Uncle Frank said. I see. And you have evidence of this manipulation? Emma was alone with her frequently in the last months. Ms. Thompson lives in Portland. According to visitor logs at Mrs. Henderson's assisted living facility, she visited 12 times in the final year, always during daylight hours, often with staff present. Hardly the pattern of someone exerting undue influence. How do you have visitor logs? Melissa asked. I was Mrs. Henderson's attorney for 32 years. I helped her move into assisted living. I have comprehensive documentation. Patricia opened her briefcase. I also have something else you might find interesting. 3 weeks ago, I received a letter from the King County Prosecutor's Office regarding an ongoing fraud investigation. The room went silent. What investigation? Dad asked weakly. It seems that in the 18 months before Mrs. Henderson's death, someone systematically drained $340,000 from her accounts. Small withdrawals, transfers, forged checks. Very carefully done. Uncle Frank's face went white. That's impossible, Aunt Diane whispered. It's very possible. And very illegal. Patricia pulled out a document. The investigation began when Mrs. Henderson's bank flagged suspicious activity. She was in assisted living, all expenses paid, yet someone was making regular ATM withdrawals from her account. Lots of people had access to her accounts, Kevin said quickly. Caregivers, facility staff. The ATM withdrawals were made in Bellevue, where Frank and Diane live. The forged checks were deposited into an account belonging to Melissa Thompson. The wire transfers went to an LLC registered to Kevin Thompson. Melissa stood up so fast her chair fell over. That's a lie. It's documented fact. The prosecutor has bank records, surveillance footage and handwriting analysis of the forged signatures. We were helping her manage her money. Uncle Frank said. She asked us to. Then you'll have documentation of her permission? Power of attorney papers? Written authorization? Silence. Mrs. Henderson never gave anyone financial power of attorney except me, Patricia said firmly. Every withdrawal and transfer you made was theft. Mom began to cry. Frank, what did you do? We needed the money. Uncle Frank said. Her care was expensive. Someone had to pay. Her care was already covered by insurance and Social Security, Patricia replied coldly. Not a single dollar came from the family. You stole from your own mother. She wouldn't have missed it. Aunt Diane cried. She noticed, Patricia said. She came to my office 8 months before she died. He told me money was missing. That's when she went to the prosecutor. I stared. Grandma knew. She knew, Patricia said softly. And it broke her heart. That's when she changed her will. Changed it? Kevin asked. Patricia opened a folder. Her old will from 2015 divided everything equally. Each child and grandchild would have received about $350,000. She showed us the document. My name was listed with everyone else's. But last January she came to my office again, Patricia said. She was crying. She said the people she trusted most had stolen from her. That's not fair, Uncle Frank whispered. We were going to pay it back. You stole $340,000 from your 90-year-old mother, Patricia said sharply. There's no fair in that. She held up another paper. This is her new will. Dated January 15th of last year. Witnessed by me, my assistant, and a notary. Her doctor confirmed she was mentally competent. Patricia read aloud. I leave my entire estate to my granddaughter, Emma Marie Thompson. She never asked me for money, never treated me like a burden, and never saw me as a bank account. The rest of my family has shown their true nature. I cannot reward theft and manipulation. Mom sobbed harder. Dad looked stunned. There's also a note, Patricia said. She wrote it the same day. She read it aloud. Dear Emma, I know this will cause trouble. They'll say I was confused or that you manipulated me. But I'm giving you everything because you loved me for me. I caught Frank forging my signature. I saw Melissa's withdrawals. I know about Kevin's fake Ulcie. I reported everything. Don't let them bully you. You deserve this. Love, Grandma. Tears ran down my face. The prosecutor waited for the estate to settle before filing charges, Patricia said. She pulled out an official letter. As of Monday morning, arrest warrants will be issued for Frank, Diane, Kevin, and Melissa. Charges include elder financial abuse, forgery, wire fraud, and identity theft, felonies that carry up to 15 years in prison. Oh my God, Mom whispered. Patricia continued, any attempt to fight the will count as harassment against Mrs. Henderson's chosen heir, and will be added to the charges. Uncle Frank was trembling. We can pay it back. We can fix this. You can't fix this, Patricia said. You stole from your dying mother. You betrayed her trust. And now you want to take more from the only person she trusted. We didn't abuse her, Kevin started. Elder financial abuse is a crime, Patricia interrupted. And you're guilty. Aunt Diane stood up suddenly. We need to go. We need a lawyer. That's wise, Patricia said. You'll be arraigned Tuesday morning. They ran from the room, Frank, Diane, Kevin, and Melissa. Brandon stayed looking pale. I didn't know, he whispered. I swear I didn't. I believe you, I said. Grandma never mentioned your name. She loved you, he said, tears in his eyes. She was so proud of you, your teaching, your kindness, your calls every Sunday. He stood. I'm sorry, Emma. You didn't deserve this. After he left, only my parents and Patricia remained. Did you know? I asked quietly. Dad shook his head. We knew Frank was helping with her bills, but not that he was stealing. Did you help him? No, Mom said quickly. We never touched her money. But we were angry when we found out you got everything. We thought it wasn't fair. Even though Grandma had good reasons? We didn't know about the theft, Dad said. We just knew Frank was upset, Kevin was struggling, and were worried about retirement. It seemed wrong that you got it all. So you ambushed me and demanded I hand over $2 million. Mom broke down. We were wrong. We should have trusted Grandma. We made assumptions. Patricia closed her briefcase. Emma, the estate is legally yours. Your grandmother's wishes were clear. I have all the documents needed to protect you. Thank you, I said. One more thing. She handed me an envelope. This was in her safe deposit box. She wanted you to have it after everything was settled. When Patricia left, I opened the letter. Inside was Grandma's familiar shaky handwriting. Dear Emma, if you're reading this, Patricia has told you about the theft. I'm sorry you had to learn this way. Some people in our family aren't who we thought they were. I'm giving you everything not because you need it more but because I trust you to use it wisely. For others, not yourself. You've always been kind. You bought coats for the homeless when you were 10. You started a food drive at 16. You became a teacher because you wanted to help kids. That's who you are. That's why I trust you. Use the money to help those who truly need it. Not family chasing wealth but people struggling through no fault of their own. Create a scholarship. Donate to food banks. Help teachers. Follow your heart. And don't feel guilty. You didn't take from them, they took from me when they chose greed over love. All my love. Grandma. I set the letter down and looked at my parents. She wanted me to help people, I said softly. Not family who stole from her. That sounds like Mom, Dad whispered. I'm going to do what she asked, I said. Scholarships, literacy programs, food banks, things she'd be proud of. That's beautiful, Mom said through tears. But I won't give anything to Kevin or Uncle Frank, I said. They made their choices. We understand, Dad said. We don't expect anything. We were part of this. We don't deserve it. I looked at them closely. They were older, tired, and scared. Grandma said to help people struggling through no fault of their own, I said. You didn't steal. You just made a mistake. Emma, Mom began. I'm not giving a lump sum, I said. But I'll set up a small monthly payment for your retirement. 2 conditions. What are they? 1, both of you go to therapy. You need to understand why you thought ambushing me was okay. They nodded. And 2, never ask me for money again. The moment you do, it stops. We agree, Dad said quickly. Thank you, Emma. We don't deserve it. No, you don't, I said softly. But Grandma would want me to care for you, just not at my expense. 3 months later. News headline. 4 arrested in elder abuse case. $340,000 stolen from elderly woman. Kevin and Melissa took plea deals. 3 years probation and repayment. Uncle Frank got 4 years. Aunt Diane got 3. I used Grandma's gift wisely. $500,000 for the Dorothy Henderson Memorial Scholarship. $300,000 for literacy programs. $100,000 for food banks. $50,000 for classroom supplies. The rest I invested living on my teacher's salary. My parents kept their word. Therapy helped. They never asked for more. We rebuilt trust slowly. Kevin sent 1 letter from anger management. I'm sorry. I let greed destroy our family. Grandma knew who you were. I should have trusted her. I didn't reply. Some bridges can't be rebuilt. But every time I handed a scholarship to a student or saw a classroom full of new books, I felt Grandma with me. She had known exactly what she was doing. And she had trusted exactly the right person.